glad that we did that. And I think that's way more, because if I just said what I was going to say, it wouldn't have the same impact. So let me go ahead and say what I said now that we've experienced that. This is why having female friends are useless. Because very, people, because women make arguments like that, like, oh, I understand women, I could give you a female perspective. But when the rubber meets the road and we have you guys talk to someone who's pretending to be a girl and give very reasonable objections, this is how women behave. We didn't give you guys any, I threw in the little variable there where we had a girl come up and see how you would respond to that, because that happens all the time with us. And you bombed it. And then you kept trying to talk to him as he was working out. Very weird.
Yeah.
With you, you ended up getting cursed out. You raged out. It's funny because you said you don't like rage baiting, right? But you literally just did that.
I thought it was funny.
Isn't that interesting how she said, I like guys that are stoic and be able to control their emotions, but what did she do? She literally did the opposite.
I thought it was
Should have given her away.
But the point I'm trying to make is I have a saying that I truly do think that women are fairly useless when it comes to being platonic friends, because you guys can't really help us in anything. Even when you guys think that you can help us with women, you guys can't even do that. Because if I were to put you in a man's shoes and have you deal with a woman as a man, you guys don't know how to deal with that, right? I've always said that, when women interact with each other versus interacting with a man, it's a completely different experience. Does that make sense?
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
But I have to say, there is hopefully more in your life than just talking to women. There are things like, for example, personal issues, whether it is a job, personal issues with your mom or your dad, personal issues with your siblings, personal issues with your friends.
We just want sex, girl.
Yeah, I think
I would like to think
I see your perspective there, but that all of that can be done by your male friends. Yeah, is my point.
I disagree though, because I would love to. To me, in the perfect world, you guys back each other up as much as you would like, but unfortunately, it is not as easy to make friends as the average male would like to think so. And this is true for men and women. It's not that easy to make friends who are purely like want to hear you and hear your.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have more guy friends or more female friends?
I would say I have an even number. I mean, but I would say I'm in tech. So by college, and no more life. No, sorry. English. I would say I have an even
50-50?
but it's because I am in a very male dominated area.
Which friends do you like more?
Neither.
Are they really your friends then?
Yes, they are.
Or maybe associates then in that case?
No, they're my friends.
Okay, so which friend group is better? Do you prefer to hang out with the guys or with the girls?
With a girl.
With the girls? Okay. And I think that's very natural that you want to hang out with the girls, but I just don't think...
No, definitely. I agree for both sides.
Yeah, I just don't think for men it makes sense to be platonic friends with women. And
I think females are better friends, though.
In general, I think we are. Just period, for men and women.
Guys don't, listen, if they're having, a real issue, they don't really feel as comfortable going to their guy friends because maybe they might laugh at them or something.
That's
we're going to sit there and, talk to them about it, listen. My guy friends say that girls are better friends than guys.
Yeah, okay.
But girls aren't solving problems though. They're just listening to listen.
Yeah. We offer solutions too. We know some solutions.
You're women. You don't. Our struggles you don't understand as men. Not close.
But it's just about being a friend. We want to understand, so we're gonna try to understand.
But we need solutions though. We don't need counseling.
Wait. But I want to ask them the opposite question. Do you think women benefit from male friends?
100%.
100%.
How come?
Yeah, and I would argue it's only women that benefit from platonic friendships. Men don't.
Absolutely.
I think we
So what I'm hearing is that regardless, we should have them.
We benefit from each other.
That regardless of who's benefiting. So you're saying that even though we might not benefit, and you think...
Okay, let me give you my argument. I'm saying men shouldn't waste their time being platonic friends with women. And the reason for that...
What if they're ugly women?
That's even less reason to do it.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to make is...
So what I'm saying...
No, you're missing the point. What I'm arguing is
Maybe
that...
I am.
Women, right? It's pointless for men to be platonic friends with women because men don't derive the same level of value from being platonic friends with women as women derive from being platonic friends with men.
What about community service?
And why do you think that?
Can you please let me finish what I'm saying, guys?
Sorry.
The reason why I say this is because when a man comes in as your platonic friend, there's going to be unspoken things that he's going to do. He's going to be a gentleman. He's going to be chivalrous. He's going to have a protector and boyfriend, give you protector/boyfriend energy.
Pay for things.
He's going to pay for things. His masculine energy is naturally just going to emanate to some degree where you're able to derive the benefits of that without having to do your part with it, which is the sexuality. And there's a lot of guys out there that will freely give you this time, attention, and energy. Now, smart men understand that this is not something that you kind of give away for free. Now, I know some of you guys are like, well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So let me go ahead and give you guys like the female equivalent. Let's say you had a guy that only called you at 2 o'clock for sex, never called you any other time. Would you continue to do that with him? Maybe it was a fling for a bit, but would you be there long term?
No.
Why not?
Damn,
I hate that.
Would you be there long
Don't
term?
call me that late.
I would if it was understood.
Okay, but at some point, would you continue this for years, or at some point would you get bored of it, or?
It gets boring for sure.
All right, what about you?
How good is the sex?
I mean, let's say it's good, but like,
Good enough.
you know, but he only calls you at 2 a.m., never asks you how your day was, never talks with you, it's very cold, it's just straight sexual. Would you stay in that relationship for long?
How good is the sex and how bored am I?
Not
Why
at this
would that be
age.
called a relationship?
Not at this age.
No, but this is not a. Are we talking about relationships? Sorry, I
No,
didn't get
I'm asking like.
No, this is a random
Booty
man.
call.
Yeah, just yeah.
You
he
are
only,
you are a booty call.
yeah,
That's
only
what you
2
are.
I have
a.m.
no
Yeah,
problem
no.
with male authority.
It's
I just
short
want to
term.
say that.
That's
But
short
but
term.
the thing is, you're not getting that. You're only getting sex, and then he says,
That's
"Hey,
fine.
you got to leave." Yeah, but would you tolerate that for a long time?
Yeah.
Is my point.
No.
You would?
I would.
No.
Okay.
Really?
Now,
There's no way you're tolerating that,
No.
because if you're tolerating that, that means you actually like that person beyond that, and you wouldn't do that.
I am able to
So-
see someone just as sex, but that's me personally. That's
so
me
for
personally.
me, I feel like women can be guys' friends when everything is on the same page, meaning everything is platonic, like he just said. But however, you can't go into something thinking that, oh, on the back end,
Oh, and I already know what it is.
okay. But you can't think that, because in this situation, you should know if somebody calls you at 2 a.m., are you going to answer or are you not going to answer?
Depends. Do I want sex in that moment or not?
And that's where where your
Exactly.
mind should always be at. Do I want to have sex or do I
all
not
right, we're
want to
missing the
have
point
sex?
here. The only reason I gave that to you guys is because you getting called at 2 a.m. for sex only is exactly how men feel when they're in a friend zone. You're not getting attention. You're not getting that masculine energy. You're not getting dates, chivalry, none of that. You're just being used for sex. That's precisely how men feel when they're in the friend zone. And now, you know, can you tolerate that for a little bit? Oh, he's only calling me at 2 a.m. Maybe a month, 2 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. But at some point, you're going to say, I want more.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
and that's exactly how men view being friends with women. Now, here's the difference. There's way more women that are able to finesse men in the friend zone than men that are able to finesse women in the sex zone. Does that make sense? So for every one guy that might be able to put girls only in the sex zone, there's like 20 girls that have dudes in the friend zone. Right? So women are far more adept at manipulating men's time than men are at manipulating women's time for sex only. So I say all that to say this. The concept of having platonic friendship with women is a lose-lose in most situations, because most women simply do not provide enough value from the platonic sense to justify said friendship that you can otherwise get from a man.
Then why do men do it?
It's a route to try to get sex.
Yeah.
And I
sex.
feel like a lot of men
It's-
are in
it's
that
a mating
position.
strategy.
Then you are such a lame of a man that you're unable of getting sex outside of just begging a woman for friendship and then having sex with her.
That proves my point.
Yes.
That
I feel
literally
like a
proves
lot
what
of
I'm
men,
trying to say.
a lot of men do that with
Okay.
women.
A lot of men.
Okay, I totally see it.
Because you actually, that's why I asked that question. You literally said
Earlier.
what would be needed for you to get your guy out of friend zone, and you literally said he would need to have more social proof from other people and respect. So the fact that he doesn't have social proof and respect from other people, that's a perfect embodiment of them being a failure. So
Okay.
as a guy, right, your job is to acquire status, respect from your peers, etc. So these guys not having that is why they have to subject themselves to being your platonic friend. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, guys that friend zone women, and you admitted this too, you said it earlier, like, hey, if I gave him the chance, he would have sex with me.
Yes.
That, like, and the bottom line here is that, like, a lot of guys will do that because they don't have the sexual market value to just be honest.
Yeah.
So they'll sit there, they'll lurk for a year, they'll lurk for 2 years, or 13 years, like we saw in the video, right? Being friends with a woman, hoping that they can get laid. Any guy that respects himself and isn't a loser will just say, fuck, this is wasting my time.
Yep.
Just like all of you having an issue with a guy calling you at 2 a.m. having sex all the time, only having sex. You'd be like, I respect myself, but fuck this. I want a guy that's actually going to give a shit about me versus me just giving this guy free pussy. So women are keenly aware of this dynamic, and you guys don't tolerate it as much as we do. That's my point.
So you're saying men aren't like disciplined enough to actually want a platonic relationship with a female? Like men and females can't be friends
No.
at all?
Platonic friendships with females are useless, and most men are too stupid to understand this, and they don't have the sexual market value to just be honest. If I took all of your platonic friends and I said, look, bro, in the corner, like, yo, what do you really want to do here? Yeah, I want to smash. All right, just walk up to her and say it. No, I can't do that, because they don't have the ability to do that. The more attractive you are as a man, the more status you have, the more you can be honest with women.
Yeah.
Okay? You can just tell them straight up, look, I'm not going to be monogamous to you. I'm going to have X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And it's up to the woman to choose. Now, if you're high status enough or if you're attractive enough, she will break the rules for you. But the problem is that not enough guys have the sexual market value to make women break the rules for them. So they have to play by her rules, which means they got to sit in the friend zone for 13 years.
Yeah,
So
I
that
would say
sounds like a men's problem.
I'm bisexual, but like I would be friends with a girl. I don't have to like want to all like my female friends. You know.
I don't think women are really. I think that's a lie. Women say they're bisexual.
How
And
is that
then
a lie?
Is there
When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
Don't lie.
Okay, to be honest,
Hey, you know, let me hold on. I love that we're on this topic. There's actually a reason why you've never had a girlfriend. I'll tell you why right now. You might not know, but maybe it'll click.
I've had one.
And how did that go?
It was just we weren't compatible.
Nope. The reason why you don't have a
Depends on the
girlfriend, and a lot of
individual.
girls that say they're bisexual is not true, is because dating another woman provides you almost no utility. Let me explain what I mean by this. When you date another girl, she's not expected to pay the bills. She's not expected to protect you. She's not expected to provide for you. She's not expected to have any of these masculine tendencies that men are supposed to have. So they kind of come into a relationship and it's just another you. So what ends up happening is when you have two people, like two women, let's be honest, what do women do? They extract value. Women don't create value. You guys extract value.
The
So you have two
sexual
women coming in trying to extract value from each other. It creates a very bad imbalance. And this is why when women say, oh, I'm bisexual, I kind of laugh because I'm like, no, you're not. Because if you had the choice to pick a man or a woman, you'd almost always pick the man because men must have utility to date you. Women don't.
Can I?
You're shaking your head, but
No, it's about like sexual attraction. When I say I'm bisexual, it's not about like security and dating and like all that.
yeah, but
long term.
But what I'm trying to say is that like you're bisexual. Most women are bisexual for convenience, dude. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all are bisexual because it's a thing that you can use to market yourself to a guy.
For the moment.
But y'all don't.
No.
But you're not. But you're not gonna go to no club, dress up, and go try to pick up chicks. You're not doing that.
I am.
I don't believe that.
I'm in the club looking for the girls. Like
Okay.
where are the
For
girls?
me,
Where are
what
the
I
females?
noticed,
You got to understand that courting and giving compliments and flirting are two different things. What you're
I court
actually
you as my friend.
okay, what you're actually doing is you're, courting by convenience. We'll say that you're there, she's there. Oh, you're hot, complimenting her, get her ego up, etc. But let's be honest. Are you going to sit there and plan a date with her the next day at a steak restaurant? Probably not.
Why not?
You're not going to do that. You're just
Why
not
not?
going to do that. That would be
Why not happy hour or go out to drinks or something like that? Come on, girl. I'll pay for everything.
Yeah, okay. That's,
For how long?
Huh?
Realistically speaking, like,
Oh, wow.
how often does
I'm
that
from
happen?
DMV.
Like that's probably, that's probably not going to really happen. I like just because you're there talking to girls and flirting with them and saying you're hot and boosting their ego, that's not really courtship. Courtship is like the process where you take the responsibility of courting her.
You take
hey,
person.
what's your
you take
number?
person
I'm going
out
to
of
pick you
town.
up tomorrow at 2.
Long term.
We're going to go have
That's
a
me.
dinner. I'm going to
that
take you
me?
out, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Right?
that's not what you're going to be doing.
Sexually,
That's me. I'm
everything.
sorry, but that's me.
You're gonna be there.
So that's why I know
saying, "You go, girl. You're hot. Maybe we should do a happy hour someday," and you never do it.
No,
So
but for
that-
me,
I'm
I'm
more blunt about this. Most men, especially men that are like not pussies and losers, don't really enjoy female company that much, and I'll tell you why. You guys interpret a lot of things through your emotions. You guys don't really add too much value to our lives as far as like your experiences and your background. Women simply are not empathetic to the male experience. And I don't expect you guys to because
Some women.
we are.
You're
Well,
not.
I see
Absolutely
women that
not.
makes more money than men.
The fact that you guys
care.
won't be quiet for 2
We
seconds
can
as
be.
I'm speaking proves my point.
Y'all don't care.
If I was talking about men, they wouldn't be interrupting me like this. Women are simply not empathetic to the male experience, and we literally just proved it just now with you guys trying to pick up the 2 girls. So we demonstrated that you don't understand what it's like to be a man and picking up a woman. You guys think you know, but you really don't know, because when you're a male and you're talking to a female, it's a completely different dynamic than when you're a female talking to a female.
See,
There's a lot of other things that you have to account for as the guy when you're talking to a woman that simply don't come into play when you're a female. That's number one. Number two, your guys' life experiences a lot of the times don't line up with a lot of the life experiences that we have, because men live life on hard mode. Women live life on easy mode. And you guys are not aware of this because you're women, and I don't expect you to. So when I say that friendships with women are useless, it's because you guys simply don't understand what it's like to be a man, especially modern day society. Because with the growth of feminism, with higher education, with women making their own money, while still being able to still get men to court them, you guys are able to double dip. You can be a boss babe when you want, but then you can also go ahead and be a lady when you want. You can have a career when you want, but then you can also go ahead and say, I want to be wined and dined. And this dynamic makes it impossible for you to understand the masculine experience, which is why you guys are effectively useless as friends. That's why I always tell guys, don't befriend women because they don't understand your struggles or what you're going through. And I just literally embodied that right now with the experiment. Neither of you knew what the f to do, despite the fact that you guys are trying to say that your friendships are valuable. You guys completely failed, and even with you, it's even funnier because you did the very thing that you said that you don't want men to do. You raged on a female. So when I say women are useless as friends, I'm not just talking out my ass. Most women, I would say, if I took 100 females, 97 of you guys are going to be pointless friends. The only time I've ever seen it make sense to be platonic friends with a woman is she has some type of connection that you might not have, and she could put you in certain rooms or introduce you to certain people. That's the only time I've really seen women add value. Yeah. And to be honest with you, that's far and few between. Most of the time, when we have platonic friendships between men and women, the guy's contributing 80, she's contributing 20 at best.
Yeah.
I would have to